Welcome back to the second page of this Rode Etude number 2 in your preparation towards All-State this fall. I'd like to start at measure 39 as this is a kind of a tricky spot and that we have a big crescendo going up to measure 42, which will be our second spot that we talk about today. But measure 39, we have the beginning of this nice long sequence going up in thirds. And so I think a great way to practice this is doing a long, short bowings, a long, short rhythm as well. So we're going to practice this way. And the reason I like this is because it keeps pushing you towards the lower half, because we tend to kind of get scared and play too high in the bow here. So this will help you not do that. So starting nice and piano and doing this rhythm all the way up to measure 42 downbeat. Try to use more and more bow as you continue the crescendo and really purposefully use more bow speed. And another thing that will be helpful is if you bring your scroll up as you come towards third and fifth position and let gravity help your hand as opposed to making gravity work against your hand, which is sometimes our human tendency to do, is to kind of do this as we go up the fingerboard. So we're going to practice that together one more time. Okay, so we're now in measure 42. We have arrived, hopefully beautifully, on our E. If you haven't, or you need to just find it, happily, it's a harmonic, right? So put your hand there, and then I would like to play this actually in a similar rhythm that we just did to what we just did, except we're going to flip it around, and we'll go long, short, long. So practicing that way will really help you focus on the augmented interval between the G sharp, the F natural. And then we start climbing down. And so I'd like to give you guys another technique to practice this. I'd like you to also go, we're going to play the first note and the last note of each group of 6. So we're going to go 1, 2. And so we just feel that even though there's a lot of other notes going on, we're just playing a scale. And you're playing that scale just really with your first finger. So you're just going 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So even just practicing 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and then back up. But also then practicing your hand frame 4, 1. 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1. Practicing that hand shape will, everything else, once you've got that feeling really comfortable, everything that's in between will just happily fall into place. My last tip for everybody is, and we're on the home stretch of this etude, and we're literally on the home stretch of this piece. So it's going to begin at measure 61, and we're just going to talk about the last 3 measures, which I think are kind of underestimated. So we'll look at these and how to practice them. First of all, I'll just play it for you slowly, and I want you to notice the diminished arpeggios that are kind of hiding in here. And if you're thinking, what is a diminished arpeggio? It's when we have these places where we have all minor thirds. And then measure 62 is a nice A minor arpeggio. Oh, then another diminished one. A minor. Diminished. So practicing that with an awareness that you're playing a diminished arpeggio and then a minor arpeggio, diminished, can really help your ear if you know what to be listening for. If you feel like, well, I'm having trouble knowing what to listen for, a helpful thing to do would be to put a drone. We'll try this with a D drone, and that will help you hear the diminished arpeggio and won't sound too clashing against the A. It'll clash a little bit, but. So having the D will help you also just, tune any interval against it. So you can listen for the D and then listen for the minor thirds, listen for the perfect fourths that go by, listen, of course, very carefully to your unisons, and that should be a helpful way to really clean up this last few measures, which are trickier than they look. Thank you for listening and watching today, everybody, and I hope this has been useful to you. If there is something else that you would like to see, all region and all state connected, or even something else, please shoot us a message in the email link below. We'd love to hear from you, and again, stay well and keep practicing.